A very good evening to everyone. Welcome to Global Online. And here we are back with our UGC NTA Net Paper 1 preparation for your upcoming June 2024 cycle. And as you all know that we have started with marathon series wherein we have taken all the units. Uh, Today we will be doing communication unit because we have to complete one important topic. And from next class onwards, we'll be starting with a new topic that is people development and environment. So this marathon series will have the most expected and repeated questions on the topic unit communication. Before we go ahead for the day, a very important announcement that from 27th of May 2024, we'll be starting our new batches live on the app, and these batches will be definitely helping you to boost your preparation for your paper 1. Now, how do you get an access to these batches? You have to just go to the Google Play Store, download the Global Online app, register yourself with the registered mobile number. Once you do that, you'll be getting and access in the form of what exactly do we provide. So here is paper 1. So this paper 1, definitely once you go for the formality of registering yourself and enrolling yourself, you'll be able to see all the content of paper 1, including the language you have preferred, whether it is English, whether it is Hindi, the theory lectures, evaluation test notes, mock test and MCQ lecture. And this all you will get on the app. In case if you are having any difficulty, you can get in touch with our team members with the help of the contact details, and they will definitely help you to solve your query. We also provide assistance for paper 2. Now paper 2 we take as of now is commerce, management, computer science, Marathi, history and economics. If you exclusively go for paper 2, you'll be having an privilege of taking paper 1 also free, which will be consisting of the following features such as daily live lectures, full syllabus notes, full syllabus test, previous year questions with solution, MCQ series with your paper 1. So for that also we have given assistance for you for your requirement. You can get in touch with our team and get the needful done. Now, here comes our first question for the day. So, the first question starts with, during the communication process, the message is converted to a symbolic form. It is called as what? So, now see, in communication also, we have studied very well. There are certain technological, terminologies which are used in communication. So, they are saying that the communication process or the cycles which takes place, the message is converted to a symbolic form. That symbolic form is called as what? Either it is decoding, either it is encoding, either it is deciphering, or it is expanding. So there is a technical language for this process, and what this technical language is called as, or what this technical language is known as. So basically, when the communication process takes place and the message is converted to a symbolic form, the terminology, the communication terminology, it is called as what? It is nothing but it is called as encoding. See, what is the message is converted to a symbolic form, or they can also give you the message such as they can also give you the question, the source, that is the sender, uh, converts the information. So what exactly it is called as? So it is nothing but it is called as encoding. And when the receiver gets a message, the receiver try to interpret the message in his own language or own terms. So that is called as what? That is called as the decoding process. So sender encodes and receiver decodes, right? Okay, so we have, explained you encoding, decoding very well, but still, in order to understand it once again, encoding is nothing but a process of turning your thoughts into communication, whereas decoding is how an audience is able to understand and interpret the message. So, formation of a message comes in the form of encoding, and interpretation of the message comes in the form of decoding. You can keep these terms also in mind. The encoder uses a medium to send the message via a phone call or email or a text message or a face-to-face meeting, and the process of interpretation and translation is nothing but in the form of that is the decoding process, right? Now here we have second question, owns one's own description as a person. So now when if you are describing you as a person, means as a self, right? So what do we call that? Terminologies are called as what? Self-concept, self-perception, self-awareness or self-respect. So it is a description as a person, it's defined as what? Do we understand it as a self concept? Do we understand it as a self perception? Do we understand it as a self awareness, or do we understand it as a self respect? So the description of a person, own person, self person, will definitely called as self concept. You are, you're describing, you're giving a concept. Perception is something you are understanding. Awareness something which you're uh, knowing. Respect is something which you're giving to yourself. But here is description, that is nothing but it is called as self concept, right? Next, which of the following term describes the communication between two people that involves sending and receiving of message? Now see, now here they are given that the you have to use the following term which describes the communication between two people that involves sending and receiving of message. So whether it is a decoding, whether it is encoding, whether it is transaction, or whether it is dyadic, okay? What exactly it will be called as? The description, okay? Describing the communication between two people that involves sending as well as receiving of a message. So basically, it will be nothing but it will be called as what? Dyadic. Now, what exactly this term? If you are listening this term for the first time or you are not came across this term, so it is nothing but a lasting of communication ideas between two people for a longer duration of time or intensive duration, which is nothing but it is called as what? It is called as dyadic communication. So it is basically a lasting communication of ideas between two people for a longer or an intensive duration. You can tell it as a with a deeper impact. So the message which leaves a deeper impact is nothing but it is called as dyadic communication, right? The next one we have is people who engages in the frank and open expression of the feelings are considered as what? So people who are, who are involved into a frank and open expression, where you can express your thoughts, where you can express your what exactly do you feel. So is it called as aggressive? Is it called as rude? Is it called as assertive? Or is it called as inconsiderate? So here it is something is odd man out. You can just find it out and answer the question. Just answer the understand the question, the skill, as I always keep on saying in every session, that you need to know the skill of answering the question, understanding the question and answering. So here they are saying that people are engaged in a very open expression, okay, and of their feelings. So such feelings obviously aggressive when we have seen a person in a very high temperament. Rude, the person is not softer. Assertive is something which is positive, the meaning. Inconsiderate, it means it is not considered. So if you see all the options, only one is odd man out, and that is nothing but assertive. So people or a person who is very open and frank in his expressions or feelings, expressing his feelings, it's called as what? Assertive, right? Next one. Now, this is something very important concept which I want every one of you to understand. So, when we talk about a low context culture, okay, when we call it as a low context or a high context culture, so we'll understand it. That's the reason I have brought this communication cycle once again, because these are two important concepts which I wanted you to know it. So, okay, so let's see. We talk about what we talk about. A concept, that is, a low context culture is something where most of the information is unspoken, okay, most of the information is explicitly stated, most of the information is apparent, or most of the information is non-existent. So unless and until you do not understand the concept of low context or high context, you will not be able to understand this concept. So let me explain you what exactly you mean by low context culture and high context. So there are two terms, okay? So when we say low, so what does it means, in this culture, it is the people, rely on the spoken or written words to communicate. So say what, like, what do you mean? How, what you say? So it is something which, which talks about rules or directly coming up with certain topic, uh, aiming at the efficiency or use of concise words and elaboration of a certain articulation, that is value being articulated and clear, right? Now when we talk about high context culture, because we have these two terms, right, and these questions already appeared in one of your cycle. So high context culture have a communication style which is based on your body language. Like for example, your tone, your, the overall context. And low context culture, as I said, which is very straightforward and explicit. So from this, you should have at least gain an idea that what exactly is high context and what exactly is low context. So when we talk about low context and whatever information is given to you, obviously from that, the second information, that is second option, the information is directly stated in verbal message, because I have used high context is something, which talks about non-verbal, the body language. So here I have also explained you very clearly what is the low context cultures, what is the high context culture. So state of America is the one which has a low context culture, whereas India and Japan are more into, the body language part or the non-verbal, that is high context culture, right? Okay. Coming to the next question. Now, see, next question purposely I have brought immediately on high context culture so you can understand the difference. So, high context culture is the one where much of the information is about the context or about the person. Much of the information is spoken. Much of the people use sign language, and much of the information is unspoken. So high context culture is the one where the information is about the context or about the person, or the information is spoken, or the information is in the sign language, or it is unspoken. So when we say high context, the information is obviously unspoken, because here you use lot of body language. So I've given you very clear meaning: high context and low context. So low context rely on words, high context rely on body language, right? Now, coming to the next question, the primary channels used by the individuals to communicate with others. So, when we want to communicate with others, what are the primary channels which we use? Either it is radio or television, either it is email, either it is the tone of voice, or either it is sight and sound. So, when we communicate, what is the primary channel which we use? So from the given options, when we communicate, the primary channel which we use is the sight and the sound. Okay, it is basically the sight as well as it is basically the sound, right? Okay. Now, encoding, see, we have already done encoding, decoding very clearly. Still, I have given you the question on encoding. Encoding is important to encourage the feedback, to eliminate the noise, to produce messages, or to, ensure the decoding of the message. So when we talk about encoding, what exactly, as I've told you, what is encoding, what is decoding, who does what? So what does the sender is, into, what does the receiver it is into? So encoding is something which is important, which helps to produce the message. I told you it is from the sender, right? The decoder is something which is from the receiver. So encoding, what does it does? Encoding produces the messages. Whereas decoding, you can say, encourages the feedback. Okay, they have not given the question, but obviously, unless and until you do not interpret, it will be very difficult for you to give the feedback. So decoding is basically encourage the feedback, right? Now, which of the following are the three components which are a part of human communication process? So when we talk about, now see, this question is little bit, twisted, just for a, little bit of creating a confusion and, making you think. So which of these components are a part of human communication process? So whether it is message, recording a feedback, noise, feedback at diagrams, message, noise, feedback, message, critiquing. So this is, it's basically, if your communication cycle concept is very clear, then you will be able to answer this question very clearly. So when we talk about the three important components which are basically a part of what, which are basically a part of human process, it is nothing but it is called as what? The message, right? Noise, that is a disturbance, a distraction, but it is a part of your component, and the feedback. Okay, so these are the things which are basically a part of what, which are basically a part of your uh, communication process. Coming to the next question, in the communication process, to encode means to what? Now see, did a lot of questions on encoding today, right? But how the questions change, how you should be able to answer it, that is very important. So when we talk about the process of encoding, so it is translating the ideas, interpreting a code, block a pathway or speak to a large people. So when we talk about communication and encoding, as we have done lot of explanation and encoding, you should be able to answer this question very directly. So encoding is nothing but translating the ideas into a code. That's called as encoding. And decoding is nothing but getting the idea interpreted. Fine. So yes, this is something very important. We two topics we were a little bit left out with. Now from the next session, we will be starting questions on people development and environment. That is the last unit which we have left with. So we will ensure that that is done. So thank you everyone, and see you in the next session. That is with a new unit, people development and environment. Thank you everyone.